everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be talking about really everything that's going on today.
Yeah.
Okay, so
where do we start?
I know, right?
Where do we start? I mean, I'm so not plugged in. I try to unplug myself.
Well, you're plugged in enough, though.
I plugged in a little bit, but I try to unplug because you can get really captivated by this stuff to the point where.
So this, yeah, I feel like okay. So this video might be a bit all over the place because we have a lot of thoughts on this. So yeah, so we'll just start where what's happened here. Okay, so George Floyd. We all know what happened with George Floyd. Okay, and we understand police brutality is
a thing. You know,
it's okay. I'm just truly over it, but like getting so sick of it, right? So sick of it. So we know that what happened with him, and I feel like there's now been this big riots and the looting and the uproar, the protests. Okay, all that has happened, and I feel like I have this two parts of me where it's I understand when someone is upset, not just upset, angry, scared, frustrated when you have black skin, when you are a black person walking around the world, and then you keep seeing what's happening with a lot of black people, specifically black men, but black people in general. And I think that when people get upset at protests in general, now again, I'm going to talk about the rioting and the looting in just a second, but I'm talking about just protests. Right. Okay. Peaceful protest. And I'm even talking about protests where it becomes like angry. I'm even going there. You can't expect that these governments and, our government cannot expect for us to continue to see someone have their life sucked out of them with a knee on their neck. We can't continue to see a woman being dragged from her car and then somehow mysteriously die in a jail, right? You can't continue to see a man be literally lynched in Staten Island, right? You can't... Trayvon Martin gunned down, all right, because he's walking home. You can't. How long can you see someone sitting in their car with a toddler in the back seat and then get gunned down by a trigger-happy police officer, and then Rodney King getting beat down. How many times can we see all of that, and then authorities expect there not to be some kind of craziness happen and anger and uproar. Because I get so upset that people are like, oh my God, I don't understand, you have to just be peaceful. You have to just be quiet and look, I don't believe in inciting any kind of violence. I don't think violence, I'm someone, and people will probably disagree. Some people would disagree with this. I don't believe that violence solves anything. I think it creates more violence, and I think it gives people a reason. I think it gives them a reason. That's my personal opinion. But I think that the idea that you can do all of these things to all of these people, black men and women, okay, and or people of color, black and brown people, and then expect nothing to happen. Everyone should just be fine. We should just fall in line and comply. No one should be upset. No one should be angry. Just, is this happened? And we're going to do our little signs and protest. No, people need to yell and scream and say something. Because when you don't yell and scream and say something, no one seems to get arrested. This man did not get arrested until the uproar happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened until the public just took it to the streets, which was what happened in the 60s and 70s. They took it to the streets, and then stuff got done all of a sudden. It's unfortunate, that it happened that way, but it did. All right. Now we can skip on to the looting and rioting. That to me will never make sense. Yeah. That to me will never ever make sense. I'm feeling like a lot of it is a lot of, I'm not feeling this way. There's literally just opportunists out there that are really honestly have their knee on this man's neck too by rioting and looting when this man had all the life sucked out of him. And now the distraction has happened with looting and rioting. Now we're not even paying attention to this man and what's happened with him because you're over here looting and rioting and falling for the okie doke, by the way, because they have outside agitators in the rioting. Yeah. White people. Right?
And there were white people rioting.
White people rioting. Okay. And a lot of them are put in there to get black people in an uproar and follow them. You see we've seen it, and this has happened many times before, where they actually have people come in there and have bricks ready for people. Okay, to start busting windows and burning things down. They have, and
I mean, I feel like
we fall for it every time. We fall for it every single time. It's like, come on.
I feel like our criminal system is not broken. I feel like it is working the way it's supposed to work.
It's working the way, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that we walk around saying that because we want to make it clear that this is unfair. It's broken. I think that it's working the way it's supposed to work.
That's what they want.
And again, I think we can put it in the hands of both of these political parties.
Yeah, we can.
Because you can say Trump, you can yell Trump all you want, but racism didn't start with Trump. And so we can stop with that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's making it any better. I'm just saying that, look, Sandra Bland died under Obama.
Just saying.
Trayvon Martin happened under Obama. Mike Brown happened under Obama. So let's just be clear that this is not a Trump thing. This has happened under Reagan.
All presidents.
It's happened under JFK. It happened under Bush. It happened under Clinton. And it's happened under Obama, and it's happening under Trump, and it will happen again under whoever is next. And it's because both parties on some level agree to this.
They're not. They're not.
I mean, we're talking about Hillary Clinton, who called black youth super predators that need to be brought to heel. She said that. Bill Clinton, who is the reason that we had the crime bill that put black men in prison unjustly.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris, who had the authority to get a man who was wrongly accused out of prison, and the courts had to come in and override her. You know what I mean? Joe Biden, who's on the Senate floor, talking about the Republicans' way of doing criminal law wasn't even good enough. We need to do worse. He said that, and if you could look that up on Google, I mean, it's horrible. Yeah, what he says, and we're fighting for this man as black people to get him elected over Trump. And I think that a lot of what happens with us in our judicial system lays in our lap as much as it lays in the court. It does. Because we don't, because I think as black people, we don't educate ourselves enough on politics like we should. Puff Daddy said it right, and I don't always agree with Puff Daddy, but he's saying it's business. It's not personal. And for us to just vote for Joe Biden blindly because we're afraid of Trump, you have to understand that once Trump is out of office, whether he gets another 4 years or not, there's going to be some other monster that's a Republican that we're going to have to deal with. And the Democrats will give us crumbs because there's something worse. So we're either going to take the crumbs they throw, or we're going to get something worse. And
you got to connect the dots.
It's a system. Yeah, we have a one-party system at this point.
And if anybody, including me, are concerned, are more than concerned. Yeah. Honestly, I think police brutality is terrorism, in my opinion. But if you're concerned about that, as much as, a lot of people don't like politics, this is a political thing. The way police are policing this is a political thing, who we vote in and how they're trained. And this is all very, very political. This man and many men, you guys, you tell me, it's in broad daylight. If someone can put their knee on someone's neck and suffocate them in the morning in broad daylight for everyone to see, put his hands in his pocket and not care.
He was comfortable.
And that means that this is how it's supposed to be.
This is how they do business in that particular business.
Yeah, the way the law is working.
Yeah, and let's just keep it clear. Black cops are no different. Black cops will do it because they have a blue line. Yep. There's a blue line. There's black people, and then there's cops.
They protect each other.
You know what I mean? And there are several ex-cops that have said that they are supposed to go into black neighborhoods first because they have a quota.
Yeah.
That they have to do.
What's that cop?
Sheriff's, what's his name? He was the one that, he actually got fired for it.
Philadelphia police. Is he Philadelphia police officer?
Jimmy Dore did it.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember his name.
It's a really good interview. But, look, people, the reason why we're not sitting in the back of the bus right now is not because we protested and walked some streets. It's because we didn't pay for buses for a year. Yeah.
So you made a really good point earlier because we were talking about this and so we were wanting to do this video. We were going to talk about it a little bit on Friday, but I felt like it deserved its own video, so we decided to do it for the show. But Kara made a really good point, and she is correct on this, is that things didn't get done back in the 60s with the busing. right? With the boycott, right? Because they were looting and rioting and they were having an uproar. Things got done because they stopped taking the damn bus.
Yeah.
And it messed up the
and at
government's
that time,
money.
Black people were mostly taking the bus.
Yes.
And so it made a
Messed their
difference
money
in
up.
the financial part of it. You know what
And
I mean?
that's when things changed.
You know, I don't know if we have the same discipline that we had. That we could actually walk. Those people carpooled and walked for over an entire year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And right now, I think we're just so comfortable sitting behind our cameras and we're keyboard courage and we all want to write stuff. But looting is weak. It really is weak. You know what I mean? It doesn't do anything. Black businesses are destroyed. You know, that's the last thing we need to do is to destroy a black business.
If I hear one more person say this sentence, well, they haven't. Some people are just caring about the looting and the rioting, and not caring about the death of this man. There's insurance. Right. They can get insurance and pay for all this. It's like, why are we talking? Okay, it's not about the insurance. Okay, duh. We know if you have a business, most people, if you're smart, you have insurance, right? So we know that stuff can be paid for and it can be replaced through insurance. It's not about the insurance. It's about the respect of the community. So when someone's going around, when you have someone who looks like you, who's burning your stuff down, part of the community, and it's just gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. People have built, it's not about the money. It's about the pride and having a Black owned and operated business, and then watching your person that looks like you go and just destroy it. It's not about, we know the money. We know they can repay for that stuff. We know that stuff can be taken care of. It's about the disrespect of the Black person. And then we want respect. This is the best part about it.
The bus boycotts happen.
Yeah.
Is that another thing that we have to learn, I think, as a people, is that we have to understand, we have to get over, we have to stop being so, not only gullible, but we get amnesia.
We do.
Real fast.
You
know what I mean? Because let's think about it. No one's talking about coronavirus anymore.
No one's talking about
We're done with that. We're all about this. You know what I mean? And it's just like I said about, it's like even with Trump. People loved Trump before. Now all of a sudden they hate Trump. And let me tell you,
he's not any different than used to be.
As soon as he's not president anymore, they'll love Trump again, just like they're doing Bush. Everybody has forgotten the terror that man brought onto this country. And now because he sits with Michelle Obama, it's like, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
It's like, and I'm just saying,
we haven't
but
either.
I think our government knows that.
They
know that. They know that all they have to do is incite something, film it, and we'll all just forget about it. You know what I mean? Most people won't even talk about Trayvon Martin until some other kid dies.
Right.
Then we'll talk about Trayvon Martin, and we'll talk about Mike Brown, and we'll talk about all this stuff. But in between that, we'll all go back to normal, and then somebody else will die, and then we'll bring them all back up again. Right. You know what I mean? It's just like we get amnesia. The one thing the bus boycotts didn't have is amnesia. And they were, no matter what happened, they stopped taking the bus.
Period.
And they did not let the media or anything make them distract them on that. But we get distracted very easily. And I think a lot of it's social media. Social media has because we're constantly looking at our phones and we're just following leader. We're like sheep.
Yeah.
We do whatever everybody else is doing. I mean, I've had people saying they're going to, we need to get armed and shoot the cops. So you're going to shoot a cop.
Why would
You're going to shoot a cop that shoots unarmed people, but then you're going to shoot them. And then what? Now they have a reason to shoot you. And then they can say, it's because he pointed a gun at me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like the looting. Now they show us looting on camera. We look like savages. And now it makes people who vote for certain people, it makes it look like that's why we have to do it, because look at them.
You gave them, the news media is not going to show the majority of white people out there looting, okay?
No,
although they are there
us.
with Black people looting, they're not going to show that.
And it's not to say that white people now, there are a lot of white people that are saying this is wrong.
Allies.
This is absolutely
white allies.
wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see that. But it's in our politics. You know what I mean? It's in, and I would say more so with the Democratic Party than the Republican, because the Republican Party's always been looked at as a monster. We get more, we do more with Donald Trump in office than we did when Obama was in office. And the truth is that Obama did a lot of stuff that we just don't even talk about, or even think to talk about.
The thing with Obama, okay, so because we people have said this, we've mentioned Obama a couple of times in a couple of our videos. We don't run away from what we believe, right? And what we've not even what we believe, what is reality. Okay. And the reason why we are tough on the Obama situation is because if you do light research, just light
research,
not heavy research. We've done heavy research, but light research. You would see that Obama did not help the Black community.
No. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you what he may have done to help the Black community is being a Black face and making young Black people see that you can be something bigger. And that I will always be on board with. But I'm talking about some of the heinous stuff that happened that we are not knowing, not seeing, or not willing to research. You don't want to know.
But you have to understand that CNN and MSNBC is liberal media.
It is.
So they don't put their Democratic politicians on the chopping block. They do it with Trump or any Republican, just like Fox News. They don't put their own politicians on the chopping block because they want their audience. They want to make it look good to their audience. So when I see, Obama crying about what happens, God, think, well, what were you doing in your 8 years? Because what were you doing in your 8 years with Sandra Bland, with Trayvon Martin? Because when those two cops got killed in their car, he went to their funeral. Yeah. And he said, we need to get along with the police. And he said that. It's, you know what I mean?
Interesting now.
He said that because he's a politician, and and the police is run by the government, right? And he's also part of the government. So you see what I'm saying? So it's a sort of weird alliance that they kind of have, no matter what race they are.
And that's where I think that this is why that's why we're connecting this whole police brutality situation with politics, because it is very political. And I think that when we, Black people have, and I'm just going to say this, that we have this weird love affair with the Democratic Party.
We do. And we have to break it.
And with politicians that are just always throwing us crumbs, and we're always falling for the okie doke. Yeah. We always fall for it. You know what I mean? And it's like, when you are just looking at a Facebook post and you're picking your candidate over a Facebook post, that's just simply not enough to me. I feel like it's just not enough.
All it takes is for Jay-Z and Beyonce to say that Hillary Clinton's acceptable and everybody's okay.
Yeah, and rock the vote. Don't forget to rock the vote. Give
it's
me a
like
t-shirt.
Celebrities are very instrumental in how we look at things because they're popular culture. So if they do it, most people are going to do it, whether they want to believe that or not. They are doing it because they think, it's like, look, this is how arrogant the Democratic Party is. Joe Biden told Charlemagne that if you aren't Black if you don't vote for me.
Said that.
He said that. I mean, without batting an eye, he said that. Yeah. And that just shows you that they don't have any fear of losing this because they think we have nowhere to go.
They think that, So what happens is the Democratic Party, a lot of those Black and white politicians in the Democratic Party feel that we are not smart enough and or don't want to at least we're lazy. We're lazy researchers. And I'm going to be honest with you. We are lazy researchers. We are. And I hate saying that. Not all of us. Obviously, there's people who care in some level. But they know that we are lazy researchers and we would just follow the crowd. So whoever has the Democratic Party, the D by their name, that's the person they know Black people are going to pick, because we all know now that the Democrat means if you're a Democrat, if you vote Democrat, you're Black, then you're doing the right thing. Right. You know what I mean? That's just how it has to be. If you're Black, you vote Democrat. Period. It's been like that for a long time. If you vote any other way, then you're shady. Right. Yeah. And I just feel like at this point, we followed suit so much that they're like, well, they're just going to do what we say. They don't really care. This is why they're able to hoist up a man who cannot speak and who is going through what looks like early onset dementia. Yeah. Joe Biden.
Yeah. Many people don't even realize
and most people are not even questioning this man's, he cannot speak. And we're willing to vote for this man, and because we're all saying, oh my God, Trump is not acting any different than Trump has for all of this time. Okay, when y'all had him in the rap songs and
he's a
bigging him up on TV,
he's a rich man who's never been poor. He's not
just racist. He's
rich,
an elitist.
Straight, white, and male. In this country, that's king.
That's it.
Let's just keep it real. You know what I mean? He's never been anything but that. You know what I mean? And so it only took him to be a president for people to then critique him. But I can tell you, after he's president, whether he gets 4 more years or not, we will forget about it. And the next Republican that comes up will be supposed to be just as afraid as him, and the Democrats will give us crumbs, or we'll get this monster. Yeah. And a lot of people talk about Malcolm X, and Malcolm X really didn't care for the Democratic Party at all. I don't even think he was a Democrat. No. And in fact, he said that the year of Barry Goldwater and Johnson, that most people didn't want to vote for Johnson.
Yeah,
most people didn't. But when faced with the wolf of Barry Goldwater, who is a huge racist, which by the way, Hillary Clinton was a Goldwater girl.
Yeah,
and she has proudly said that.
Huge racist.
You know what I mean? He was just like most of our leaders were begging Johnson on their knees. And the thing is he said, you got to be careful of the media. The media will have you loving people you should be watching and hating people that might be helping you. And the thing is that we don't really do enough research.
We just don't.
We don't. And I know a lot of people listen to us say that because we're Black, that it hurts because it's scary for, I don't know. Maybe we don't have anywhere else. I don't know. Do we?
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to politics, Black people just feel like, well, let's just stick with Democratic Party, no matter what they don't do for us. And that was what Charlamagne was trying to say to Joe Biden was, not talking about Trump right now, Joe. I'm talking about what we're going to get from you, because we got to start voting for things and not against things all the time. Because it's hurting us as a society.
Our politicians, there is no Black agenda with our politicians.
Either one.
With our Black politicians too. With our Black Democratic politicians, there's never a Black agenda. And that's what the biggest problem. I think that what's happened is over the last, 3 or 4 years, people started to get a little bit more woke on Obama. Yeah. And they're like, where was his Black agenda? Because we were so blinded by a Black man becoming president, we just forgot. Because voted. Look, Karen and I were in line. Karen and I were in line for hours.
And cried. I cried when this man won.
We voted for Obama, right? And then in part because we're happy to see a Black man be elected, one. And two, because we thought there would be some real change with the Black people.
And many Black people came out to vote for him, but they didn't vote for him the second time.
Yeah.
And a lot of Black people felt that he didn't do enough for the Black community.
They woke up.
And the reason why he can't do enough is because when you take money from special interests that you're supposed to regulate, you can't do anything.
And that's what he did.
You know what I mean? And that's what he did. That's what Joe Biden did. That's what Hillary, that's what
the Democratic Party does.
The Democratic Party does. I understand, like, the Democratic Party is really good at identity politics. They put Black people up, they put white people up, gay people, and it looks like there's change because we see something that prior we never saw. We always just saw old white men. Yeah. But now we're seeing gay men, and we're seeing Asian men, and we're seeing women and Black men. So it looks like progress.
Muslims, right? We're seeing all of that.
I mean, it looks like progress.
Yeah. Looks like it.
But you have to understand that it can be a trap. Because they can also use us to make us vote for something that hurts us. I mean, again, Malcolm X said the Democratic Party has a way of making Black people fall asleep. He said on some level he wished Barry Goldwater would have won because his people would have fought more. Yeah. But as soon as he didn't win and Johnson did, we fell right back to sleep again, and we stopped fighting.
So when Trump got voted in, I do not agree with Trump.
I won't vote Republican.
I don't, and people are, Trump's a racist. I don't think Trump is only a racist. I think Trump is an elitist. Yeah. And there is we can't control that.
He thinks better than everybody.
Yeah. So it's kind of like when everybody got so on the uproar of Trump, we were like, I mean, he's not really doing much different.
I mean, let's just keep it real. I mean, I consider myself independent. Me too. Because right now the Democratic Party is split. Yeah. And it was because of the Hillary Clinton election with Bernie Sanders. Because Bernie Sanders brought some information to the table along with WikiLeaks and Julian Assange about what the Democratic Party was really about and what they were doing. And a lot of people educated themselves and was like, oh, whoa.
People got fired because of the cheating and because of the voter suppression, all this stuff to get her into the seat. A lot of that stuff came out and then people got fired and and now the Democratic Party has now been since 2016 exposed.
And the Republican Party knows that.
Yeah.
That's why they're always saying, they know that. And the Democratic Party is exposed. Yeah. And it's a good thing though. It's not a bad thing.
It's a good thing.
Because it shows where we need to change and where we need to change. Also, just like as far as me being Black, I'm always learning about politics. Yeah. And I'm always trying to educate myself about what's happening to my people and what's good for them. And a lot of times I think that we're so it's like what did George Carlin was always saying, that every 4 years we go into this,
it's like a circus.
Shit show.
Yeah, shit show.
Circus. The theater that's put on by the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Whose candidate is worse than the other one? He's in this
general election.
They all have, the politicians, they all have people in their back pocket. Yeah. All of them.
The judges.
Right. Even Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. I mean,
who really is would have been your
best
option.
Once you align yourself with those two parties, you are now having to fall in line.
Yeah.
Which is what we hoped wouldn't happen with Bernie, but we knew they probably would.
But he was going to fall in line because he called himself a Democrat. Even though he's an independent, he called himself a Democrat to run.
Yeah.
But he's going to back instead of fight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's hard to talk about all of this stuff that's going on with police brutality and not bring up politics in some way, because I think that's the one element. That's like the element we're missing. It's the politics and the money. Mm-hmm. Because we so I think that we don't own enough. So clearly we don't own enough. Now I'm talking to myself.
I'm talking myself.
So this is not forever. Yeah, this is not just me talking about just black people in general. I'm literally saying this to myself too. I know that I have to do better when it comes to like I buy from black brands. We try to buy from black brands, but it needs to be better.
Right.
It needs to be better with that. Going to WeBuyBlack.com. Yeah. Going to, like Kira Veda for our hair products. There's different black brands out there to get your stuff. You know what I mean? Instead, we always go right to the people that are suppressing and oppressing us. We buy from them, and then we don't own. Because we don't own, they don't take us seriously. Because they don't take us seriously, they feel they can lean on our necks like that. Yeah. They feel they can do whatever they want to do because they do not take us seriously. And the reason why is because we don't take ourselves seriously. Right. And when you see people out here stealing TVs and finding that opportunity to do that and having 60-inch flags and taking PlayStations and stealing Dior bags and and looting and destroying communities, that is the biggest distraction from what the real problem is. So look, protest is not supposed to be silent. First of all, they tried the silent protest with the knee with Colin Kaepernick. He did a silent, what's it called? A quiet protest. Okay? He tried. That didn't work. Okay? So you do have to kind of yell top of your lungs, but you do not have to destroy communities. And you look so stupid out here destroying. It's counterproductive. You're destroying your own community that black people are trying to help them out. But you found an opportunity and you fell for it. You fell for it. You fall for it every single time. They put outside white agitators in there to loot with you, right? And then paste and post us up on the news of just seeing us loot, not watching what they did. Right. And you fall for it every time, and then you're wondering why stuff keeps happening. We're looking like savages. It's because we're behaving like savages. Okay? And honestly, the savages right now that we should be paying attention to are the police stepping on necks and choking people and gunning down people. Yeah. That's the savages right there. But who would know? Who would care? Because you know that the media is going to put up us looting. You know they're going to do that. And then so now what's happened? I'm looking at the news the other day. I never watch news really because it's crap. Right? But I was looking at the news the other day and I'm like, wow, they completely have stopped talking about, not altogether, George Floyd. Yeah. It was at one point when it was a regular protesting. It was about him, and the UK was protesting. It was about him, and then the last couple of days, his name has hardly been mentioned. Right. Or this situation has hardly been mentioned because of what everyone is doing, and it's like. You're messing up the whole agenda. You're messing up the black agenda. We got an agenda that we're supposed to be doing, and you're messing us up by doing that. So I don't care that insurance can pay for you. I'm not talking about insurance. Right. Let's talk about respecting ourselves and then respecting our communities. And when you don't do that, and then we want to call them thugs. Yeah, we know. Someone that can do what police have been doing for many decades, right? That is thuggish behavior. I felt that, and I still feel that when Obama, I've had this conversation before people, that I do feel that Obama did not do enough for black people. You would think that having a black president, right? Although we know the president doesn't get, the president's, that's a title. You know what I mean? We know who's running the show. Okay, there's other people running that show besides the president, but he does have influence. Right. So the fact that he didn't use his influence as a black man to help black people, specifically prison reform and police brutality. He did not address those things aggressively. And because he didn't address them aggressively, we are still in it. I can't ignore what he did.
I wouldn't vote for either one of these politicians. I would vote for the Green Party before I vote for either
Trump
one
or
because I think it's ridiculous. And I think it's gotten too far. And I think that neither one of these parties have done anything to clean up the act of any of this.
I don't think they want to. And I feel like now at this point, it's up to us now. And here's another part of it that really bothers me is that Black people are always trying to teach white people how not to be racist. Right. Black people are always trying to get the white approval. We're always trying to do like validation from the white person, right? And I have nothing against white people. We have our grandmother was white, for God's sake. We have nothing against that. But when it comes to these subjects, we really have to stop seeking so much validation from white people that, oh, please, whites, like us and respect us. No, we have to be doing that within our own community. It's not my job to teach white people.
I mean, let's just get on the subject of, I can be on Facebook any day of the week, and most of the men on my page, I'll go into women and men, but most of the men have so many derogatory things to say about Black women.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Just disgusting and gross. But I've never seen so much Black love when someone gets killed.
When someone gets killed, Black love for a few minutes.
All of a sudden, everybody is unified, and everybody has all kinds of, Black power. We got shirts made.
Black girl magic.
Everybody is here. Yeah. But any other day,
nothing. On
a regular day, when
connection. When
we're still not being treated well by the police, but no one's dead.
No one's dead.
As far as media, national media.
Yeah.
Of course, they die. But
someone dies.
But there's always the ones that get national media.
Yeah.
And then that's when we all become lovers of each other, and we all care.
Each other.
The Black woman is queen, and all this.
It's like, where were you?
Any other day beyond that, you know what I mean? We are
disconnected completely.
And then Black men aren't shit. We don't do nothing. Nigga this and nigga that. Yeah. And, you know what I mean? But the instant a Black man gets killed,
our kings are being,
let's do this. It's just like, we got to be consistent.
We're not consistent.
We can't be consistent when it looks easy to be consistent. When it's easy to get on your keyboard and start putting up memes. And this is the reason why I haven't really participated in it, because it makes me angry.
Yeah,
because it's not, this man died unjustly.
And I believe that.
And I was watching a thing the other day where their coroner is saying that he died of natural causes, and that is going to upset me when I see that. Yeah. When we have visual tape of this man being strangulated by a knee, and they're going to say that he
natural causes
died because he may have had a heart problem.
Thank God this family is smart enough to get a independent person come in there and and look at autopsy on this, because that's crazy. Obviously, they don't care, right? They're trying to help these people get away with it.
And of course, if he died of natural causes, then there's no reason to reform the police.
Yeah.
Eric Garner, I haven't really watched that video of this guy with his knee. I've seen like a snapshot, but I don't want to. I mean, Eric Garner was enough for me, and I still could cry.
Yeah, because
thinking about that, and nothing happened to that man.
Nothing.
That man was back on the job in 3 days.
There's a man that recently was jogging, gunned down.
Yeah.
Not hunted. And they're not scared, y'all. They're not scared that
the law is on their side.
It's on their side. And then we're over here trying to teach white people how to not be racist. No, it is my job to call out Black ignorance. Okay, that's my job. Also big up Black people as much as I can, right? It's also my job in the face of racism to stand up for myself in the face of racism. It is not my job to teach a white person how not to be racist. That's white people's job. Right. And by the way, the white silence is deafening. It's deafening.
I have white friends that haven't said anything. People generally help where it affects them. And unfortunately, police brutality doesn't affect most white people. Yeah. You know what I mean? And even if they have Black friends and they feel sorry about the situation, they're not going to raise hell because it's not them. It's just like if you have a kid that has autism, most people who help autistic children are people who have autistic children, or they gave birth and they want to help. They want to be a part of it because they're a part of that group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So most white people, although there are a lot, there are some that are out there helping.
We have allies.
You need to have it. Even slavery had allies. I mean, the Underground Railroad was mostly white people using their homes to hide Black slaves to get them to the north. So it's just to say, I'm not saying that there are but what I'm saying is that if it doesn't affect you, sometimes you just kind of not look at it. So a lot of people, I think that's wrong. Yeah. Because I think what happens to one person happens to us all. That's what happens to looting. Yeah. White people got affected with their businesses. Yeah. Because a Black man got hurt and now a whole bunch of people destroyed their businesses. Right. You know what I mean? So this is what happens when you turn a blind eye. This is why I don't believe in that. Right. But I will say that I feel like this is mostly political, and I think walking around trying to say you're going to kill police officers and we got to get armed It's just like, okay, yeah, but if you kill a cop, you're going to jail or you're getting the death penalty, because if you kill a cop, that is crime number one. But look, and especially if you have a gun, they're going to have every reason to shoot you.
You got to be smarter. I think that you know what I mean. They have no reason.
It's in our votes, and it's not only in our votes. It's in how we select our candidates.
We don't own enough, and we buy everything. You know, but we don't own enough. And I'm talking to myself when I say this. That's why we want to be business owners.
That's why I say I wanted to. There was a time when I wanted to be a housewife.
Yeah.
And I still do. There's some level of it. But there's another part of me that feels like I can't be, because I feel like I have a responsibility to my race to be more.
To own. And to own property.
And that's the reason why we do this show. And I know a lot of people are going to thumbs down this show because they'll be mad because of the Obama comments. Yeah. And the thing is I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? I'm okay with you unsubscribing because of it.
Okay with that.
But sometimes you got to say the truth. Yeah. And if the truth, look, hey, the truth got Malcolm X killed. It did. The truth got Martin Luther King killed. The truth got JFK killed. The truth gets Fred Hampton killed. If you have the truth didn't, you said what I'm saying, but
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Obama didn't die, you know what I mean. So I'm just trying to say that everybody was so afraid for there to be the first black president, and nothing happened to him.
And then why do you think that? I mean, I'm glad nothing happened to him. I don't want anybody.
I don't want anything to happen, but I'm just saying he's not Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. I don't like when people put them in because he's not the same, in my opinion. Those two men put their lives on the line to say things that really.
Obama fell in line, and people, the past 3 years, I am kind of proud. Let me just say this. I'm proud of Black people that are in the age, what's that quote? In the age of information is a choice to be ignorant. Yeah. All right. Because we have information now. So if you're choosing in this time where we can get information anywhere.
With you walk around with your phone.
Yeah. Then you're choosing to be ignorant. So I am proud. I'm going to say this though. I am proud of the Black people who are, not, don't hate Obama, but who have finally decided to see exactly what happened there and why we're in the position we are now. Okay. Yes, he did not help the Black community, and that's unfortunate, but his money did not lie with us. Yeah. His money was aligned with Wall Street.
With Wall Street.
It was aligned with it was aligned that way, and that's what happens. And this is why we're saying that, and like I'm saying that, like just personal level, this is why I would love to be a business owner. This is why we're trying to create whatever we can create, because I feel like when you have any kind of platform, because we've been told before that talking about race, religion, and politics is not wrong. It's probably not the smartest thing to do, because we're small channels, so every subscriber we get, we appreciate. So if we lose them, it's kind of like, oh man, but it's also kind of like, oh well, because I'm not going to sit here and not talk about race, religion, and politics when all we talk about is race, religion, and politics. I'm not going to sit here and be phony up here and act like I can't speak. You know what I mean? If you have a platform, no matter how small and particularly large, but I don't care how small it is, speak some truth to people. Don't put stuff out there that is just PC. Yeah. Because PC is not going to get us nowhere.
And you know what I mean? And you have to understand that. That's why Sean Combs was saying that this is business. When you vote, it's business. It's not a popularity contest. It's business. Yeah. So you have to, this was Spike Lee was for Bernie Sanders, because he realized that at some point, these Democrats, these corporate Democrats, are not doing much for those people.
If it's like when you see police brutality, so the first thing you think is, oh my God, I can't believe they're just doing that. They don't even care. They don't care like that. They don't care. They don't care because the laws are geared in their favor. They can get around the law, whereas we can't. Regular citizens cannot. And I just feel like at this point, when people are not, it's clear racism. There was a USA Today had their headline the other day said, we're talking about the coronavirus pandemic. We actually have a racism pandemic been going on for decades. Right. That's the pandemic right there, is that that's an epidemic, to be honest with you. And I feel like if we're not understanding as Black people, and I can't say this enough, I'm talking about myself too. This is why I would like to own, because I feel like that is what makes the difference. Our money, how we own, what we do, who we elect.
The bus boycotts only worked because we stopped taking the bus. Yeah, they lost money. And when they realized the money was gone, they did that for a year, over a year. then they realize, okay, then we can't tell these people to sit in the back of the bus and then we want their money. They're not gonna. They'd rather walk. That's what they're saying. These days, I don't know if people are willing to do that. I think we're so comfortable behind our phones and stuff, and everything is so easy for us because let's just face it, phones and stuff have made life easier. We don't even have to go to the store once, so you can literally grocery shop from your house. You know what I mean? That we don't want to give up our comfort. You know, it's just like, that's what I'm saying. We're so easily distracted. And the government does know that. They know that. You know what I mean? Like, again, we were talking about coronavirus for 3 months. Everybody was, oh, how dare you walk around without a mask? And now we got people down 6 feet away. Now we got distance. Protesters downtown 1 foot away, hanging around each other. And we've completely forgot about the coronavirus. And
still trying to
figure that out. How things can just come in with no one's talking about coronavirus anymore. Everyone's talking about it. And like you said, pretty soon we won't even be talking about the guy. George Floyd. You know what I mean? It'll be something else. You know, now we're talking about looters.
Yeah. That was the point, though.
See, I'm saying how we can be distracted, like all of a sudden now it's about looters. And what black people do, they steal. And this is why the police have to be like that. You know what I mean? And it's just like we don't think. We just kind of react. We're too emotional sometimes that we don't even think. Like, we don't stop to think, are we being played?
Because we are.
Because we are.
I just want black people to be smarter. I want white people to call out white people.
Yeah.
Okay? Because, like we were saying, with people it's not my responsibility to make white people not racist or to not call them out on that. It's my responsibility, black people's responsibility, to call out ignorance within our own community, or what we feel is ignorant. And I think that looting is not doing anything but distracting from the real problem. And what you've done now is that you have geared the media's shifted, which was planned, to go a different direction. And now we're not necessarily
curfews. Everybody has to be now. Grown-ups have to be told to go home at 8 because we might hurt the community.
I'm thinking about George, but people
but that's where it's going though. It's going to be about curfews and it's going to be about looters, and we're going to forget all about the reason why this even happened. And the thing is that
it's already happening.
Black love is not just a tagline.
It's not.
Black love is how we treat each other every day.
Black lives matter.
On social media, how black men talk to black women, how black women talk to black men, how we raise our children, how we vote, how we support people in our businesses, how we, how we treat each other. It's not just something you want to throw up just because, it's not about marriage.
Yeah.
Black love is about loving people loving each other on a everyday basis. You know what I mean?
Not when just something horrific like this happens.
I love Barack Obama, not because of his politics, because his politics stinks in my opinion.
Yeah.
But because he's a black man who changed the look of what it can be, what it looks like for young black people to see that, because
that's a positive,
right? There are some black kids right now that don't know what it was like to never have a black president.
I feel like it's about us bringing each other up and really supporting each other,
and not when people get killed. Not when you see faces like Tamir Rice, or not when you see faces like Sandra Bland. Why do we have to always wait till someone gets gunned down by a white cop? Then all of a sudden we always want to start putting up pictures of how much we love our black
hashtags
men when we don't do it all the time. You know what I mean? And then same thing. Sandra Bland got hurt or killed. Sorry, not her. She was killed. Yeah. Let's just keep it real. The world was killed. And then black men, I love my black queen. But that's not how you talk about women. There are literally black men I know that talk so much dirt about black women. And then as soon as a black woman gets killed in the media, we got to protect our black queens. Women. Well, it starts with your language. Yeah. Don't say you're going to help us when you can't even make a Facebook post without being mean because you were hurt by a black woman at one point in your life. And the same thing goes for black women. Don't sit back here and talk about how black men aren't anything. And then as soon as one gets killed, he's suddenly a king.
We gotta be smarter, y'all.
No, it's not. We gotta start voting right. We gotta start looking at our contenders in voting differently.
Yeah, and then just really calling each other out on stuff, but also bigging each other up. I think. And
supporting black businesses.
Yeah. So if you're worried about police brutality, and I don't like it. You know what I mean? I don't like the idea of and I don't like when people say this man passed away. This man was murdered. Okay, all these people were murdered. Let's just call it what it is. I don't like this language. Use the right language. He was murdered, all right, in front of all of us, and we saw that in real time. So we have to be smarter as black people in our communities and stop putting each other down and stop tearing our communities down. We have to stop doing that.
And if Joe Biden wins the presidency, please don't stop fighting. just because it looked like you won and Trump lost.
Not true.
Because that will happen. I can see that happening. As soon as, if Trump loses, I can see, oh, we're healed.
Yeah. We got Biden.
No. Look at Biden's history, because it's not good.
Don't have amnesia. I guess what we're saying.
Don't think you won anything.
Yeah.
Because your fight never stops. Yeah. It always, you have to always keep going, and you have to always be smart. Yeah. And you can't sit around here and be complacent. Yeah. In the way you think. You have to, like, I had to relearn my politics, because I was a staunch Democrat. I was the one who was, Democrats are so much more open and everything. And I was just like, until I realized, gross, they really aren't that good. No, it's bad. And I had to get out of my own way and really think, like, these people aren't that much different than Republicans. Yeah. And it's kind of scary. Yeah. It scares me a little bit, because now it's like we have one party. Yeah. So, and pretty soon none of us won't have anywhere, because we don't vote smarter. None of us are going to have anywhere to go. Right. We're going to have one party. And that will be the elite party. Unarmed black men have been dying through all of our presidents, not just Donald Trump and not just Bush. Right. Clinton, Obama, and in some cases, it's a lot of Democrats' fault. Yeah. We need a black agenda, and right now we don't have one. We don't have one. And our politicians are not giving us one. So. And the only thing I can say is we need to get smarter. Yeah. Let us know what you think. Comment below. Even if you disagree. Yeah. If you disagree, I want to hear what your arguments are on that too. So just comment below. And tell us what you think. We can only do so many thoughts and prayers. Mm-hmm. How long are we going to do thoughts and prayers? Yeah. Right? It's always a thought. It's always a prayer. But we have to do action now. At this point, it's not just about a thought and a prayer. Right. Okay? It's got to be action mixed with that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We upload every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Mm-hmm. And we will be back here later on this week. So, thanks, guys.